We are so thrilled to have Alexa Kritis with us today, we've had a few opportunities to work together,
yes.
and I'm looking forward to more because each one, our relationship just seems to evolve and it seems to get deeper and deeper understanding, and we know how we're pretty familiar with the way each other thinks, I think. And there's something that's very comforting about that when you bring a client through the door. Can you tell me a little bit more about your business, or tell everyone else a little bit more about your business?
Yeah, and there's a lot of trust between us too, which is so important between us, between other vendors that we work with. And it's one of the things that I also advise, like if you feel either with a planner or another vendor that you can inherently trust them and you never question that they're always on your side, they always have your vested interest, that's like half the battle. Like,
doesn't mean you always agree.
Right. It doesn't there doesn't always have to be agreement. That's a really good point. But yeah, if there's trust there and you know that they're going to do everything in their power to give you the best day ever, then like that's half the battle of it. How do you demonstrate that in your company? Because your company, in my experience with you, that's what comes to the table when you come to the table. How does that materialize, like, in real time? Transparency. Like, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, whether it's something that they're going to like to hear or not, if it's something that's either going to, like, if it's going to be over budget or if it's not going to make sense logistically, I'm not just going to say yes because I want to make you happy. But if the end product is not going to make you happy, then I'm not going to say like, yeah, we definitely can do that. Or, you know, so that initial transparency of being like, this isn't going to work, but this is, because that's the other thing, is finding an immediate solution too. If that's not going to work, but here, why don't we try it this way? And then saying, okay, yeah, actually that's going to work.
Or here's 3 options.
Right,
Maybe not this one, but how about something like this, or this, or this? What do you think of those? And then, because
also too, it's not my wedding at the end of the day. It's your wedding. I already got married 2 times. That was enough to the same person. I got married 2 times to the same person. That was more than enough. So
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, yep.
I love this.
Once at Sacred Heart downtown, and then we went to Somi, just like immediate family for.
Oh, so it wasn't like you got married and broke up and then got remarried.
No, nope.
Oh,
this was COVID. This is all COVID. Like, was supposed to get married April 18th of 2020.
I see.
Had a small 9-person church wedding followed by Somi for just so we could be married, which was the wedding of my dreams. Being a wedding planner, I never wanted to have a wedding. My husband, who is an only child, was like, we have to have a wedding. And I was like, okay, fine. If you want to have a wedding, we can have a wedding. But we really got my wedding that I wanted, which was small and intimate. And then we got the wedding that he wanted, which actually I really loved, and we had a fantastic time at too. So we got to do both ways. Yeah.
That's amazing. Company mission.
Our mission is to work with couples so that on their wedding day, they're guests. They're not working, they're not thinking about anything else besides enjoying their wedding day.
What ignited your passion with our industry?
Oh, I started working in weddings when I was 14.
Really?
Yep, I was working
in Long Island
on
or
Long
where?
Island, yeah. Yep. My bus ride from my house to my middle school was a bridal salon. And at 14, I went and got my working papers so that I could work there after school on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 5 to 9, and Saturdays from 10 to 5. I started dressing brides. So like they would come in for their first fitting. They would meet with the seamstress, but I would like help them get their undergarments. I would help them put the dress on, because like back in the day, and this was 2004, when the like cross, I forget what it's called, but it was like that cross back thing where you could like make it bigger or smaller, whether if you gained a few pounds, like it was okay. So I would like help them get into that. And then I went and worked with bridesmaids.
Like a corset?
Yeah, like a corset. There you go. I couldn't not remember the name of it.
I think Maggie Sotero was like a big designer of like the corset back dress back in 2004. That's all I've been working in this industry for. And from there, after working there all through college, across the street was a wedding planner. And my boss, the salon was slow at the time, and they said, why don't you go across the street and see if they need any help? And I worked with her all through high school, all through college.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
It's super curious to me how people get into and attracted to this business.
Yeah.
And it comes from all over the place, you know. I mean, like for me, I was in hospitality before this. I was in the restaurant business, general manager of restaurants, then private country clubs. So I got like that hospitality, customer service kind of bug in taking care of people in that way. And then, as I've said many times before, the first time I ever did flowers was the first time that the noise stopped.
I didn't know that.
And the minute that happened, I was like, I have to chase this down the rabbit hole and see what happens, you know? And here we are.
Okay, so one of the other things that I really love about this industry is there's a beautiful balance between the business side. So like, I'm such a nerd and I love like the spreadsheets and the contracting and the logistical parts, the timeline. Like I really thrive in that arena. And then of course the beautiful creative side of it. So floral and stationery and all of the things that everybody on Instagram ogles over. There's this delicate balance between being able to do both. And now the third thing that's super important to me too is then the relationships.
Yeah, 100%. And we were, and that dovetails into a question that I'm going to ask after this. But the whole thing that we have so many wedding planners that come and work with us. But the ones that I enjoy working with most, and this is probably no secret, are the ones that really have their opinions about design, but allow us to design and don't like say this is what you're going to do and force feed it to us and do it.
Yeah.
And there's some wedding planners like yourself that walk that line so nicely. They understand design. They understand where he might be going a little far out there. You might want to retreat back a little, but you know, this is the guy, and this is, you know, and you do that so well. You don't get muddled in, and you just weigh in appropriately and rightly, and it's not because you don't understand design.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a keen eye, and you logistically understand how to make it happen too, which is so valuable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I never set out to be a designer. There are so many planners that are like, we really want to do design, and they do it, and they do it really well, but then they totally lack in the logistics and the things that are important that people don't see, but they experience. So either vendors are experiencing it or guests are experiencing it, whereas I work in the opposite way, where I know my logistics are so super strong, and then I bring on the people that I know love and thrive in the design.
And I think that's the best way to do it. I mean, obviously for me it's the best way to do it because it's plays out exactly like you said. They think they're a planner, but they want to be a designer, so they want to do all the things and pick all the stuff and all of that. And then you walk in, or I walk in to a venue to set it up. Where's the this? Where's the that?
Yeah.
Why isn't this guy here? Where are the linens? Where are the that? All of the I's aren't dotted and the T's aren't crossed because they're too worried about the pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I love that. I absolutely love that. I have to read this because it's kind of a long statement, but it dovetails into what you were just saying, and then I'll go back to the. Well, maybe I'll start with this one. What attracted you to working with Taylor Twig?
You. I just love you. I mean, I think almost instantly.
Aww,
like, do you remember
so sweet.
when we went to the restaurant that is now closed on downtown across the street from Kritis Hickson Park.
Yep, I do.
And I think it was from then that I just knew that like I wanted to work with you, I wanted to be around you. Like we just like really like we have a great thing.
Yeah, it's feeling is 100% mutual. That's too sweet. Thank you very much. Tailored Twig's mission is centered around connection, not only to have the clients we serve, but those that we work with. The benefits of this connection is far-reaching. Can you summarize the value you find in creating long-term relationships with vendor partners?
Yeah. Well, one of the things to also piggyback a little bit off of that last question is that I come to you when I want something that no one has seen before. I don't want to take a picture from 2005 Pinterest. I'm gonna like poo-poo all over that again. And say like, here, can you just like do this? Like just copy it, you know. I come to you when my clients hire me to work with other vendor partners that are doing things that are trend setting, that are doing things that nobody has ever done before. I take a lot of pride in that. Like, I don't want to just regurgitate something else that's been done a million times over. So that's why I come here, because I know that you can provide that.
And your portfolio business shows that too, which is, I mean, that it speaks for itself. This is the best part of this whole thing because it's rapid fire questions. I love it because you don't need to think, you just need to spit out the answer. So I have 20 of them for you. Classic or modern?
Ooh, mix of both.
We're starting out like that.
Yeah, I think it depends on the client. Like you have some people who really like are super traditional and other ones who want to see a little bit of fun and funky, and I like to really lean into whatever they love the most.
I like that. I like that. Light and airy or dark and moody?
Oh, light and airy, always.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor ceremony, indoor reception.
You always have to be special, don't you?
I like specifics. I'm like a very like doing this as a career. Like
that's what makes you a good planner.
My first inclination is always to ask like, well, what exactly are we talking about? Are we talking about weddings? Are we talking about like well, of course we're talking about weddings, but like in what capacity? I want to know.
So you half and half on that one.
Yeah.
Pinterest or Instagram?
Oh, Instagram. Pinterest is 2005.
Okay. Least favorite color?
Ooh. Orange.
Okay. I'm not going to go any further on that one. Favorite venue?
In Tampa or anywhere?
Oh, I think anywhere is, you know.
Anywhere? There's a venue in Austin. It's actually no longer it physically exists, but they no longer operate as a wedding venue. It's called the Union on 8th, and it was one of the first venues that I saw that had the perfect combination of a ceremony and cocktail hour space for outside and a very like industrial inside space, and they were doing so many weddings, and it opened my eyes to being able to, hopefully, one of my goals is to have a wedding venue. But how simple it could be, but it was also really beautiful.
I love that aspiration. I think it is not one that is unusual for those that are in the industry. I think that we would love to do that too.
Yeah.
But we'll see where the path takes us.
Yeah.
Honeymoon location recommendation.
Amalfi Coast.
Yes. 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 100%. I agree with that.
Capri,
totally.
Specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best
one of the most
place on
beautiful
earth.
places I've ever been.
Yep.
Buttercream or fondant?
Oh, buttercream. Tastes better.
Wow. I'm getting surprised here. So, okay, so if we talk about taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about design.
Oh, fondant, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. I mean, I'm trying to be specific.
Yeah.
Best resource for bridal inspiration.
Instagram, but I'm gonna go even more specific. Actually, it's this week. New York Bridal Fashion Week is this week. So following all of the typical bridal designers, but one of the things I love about regular Fashion Week also is that there's a tradition that at the end of the show, the very last dress would always be a wedding dress.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah.
So it keeps you hooked until the end.
Exactly. Keeps you
love
watching.
it.
If you're like a wedding nerd like I am, then I'm going to watch the whole show until I get to see the last
Girl
look.
doesn't want to see a wedding dress as the finale.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
even if they have walked down the aisle before.
It's still fun to always look at dresses.
Yeah. Huh. Cool. That's a good answer. Favorite personal touch on an event?
Ones where the guests feel like they were thought of and appreciated. Whether it's something as a basic need, so like a dietary restriction or concern, transportation, that's taken care of from, let's say, the church ceremony to the reception space. Just like putting the guests' needs and their wants and comfort levels first.
Yeah. Proudest professional moment?
Oh, wow.
Rapid fire.
I know. There's a few, which I'm so grateful for that there's more than one. I think it's when I did a 517 person wedding and I planned it in 90 days.
That's a big wedding.
Huge.
Huh.
Where
was that at?
Up in Dade City. It used to be the Lang Farm. Now it's Stonebridge.
Okay.
I don't even know if they're doing weddings anymore, but they hired me like 2 days before Christmas. The wedding was April 6th, so like 90 days. But I was able to do it because they were responsive, they were trusting, they were flexible, and it was amazing. I had a team on my own team, like 6 people, but the fact that we were able to put something together so big in such a small period of time, I was like, I could do anything now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize all of the intricacies that go into doing this.
Yep.
We'll get into that later.
Love it.
Most used item in your emergency kit?
Oh, love this. Scissors.
Okay.
And gaffer tape.
Really?
Yep.
What do you give me some examples of using gaffer's tape?
I have it in different colors, so I have it in like white, black,
you do.
nude.
That's awesome.
It does. Oh, and zip ties. Zip ties. Okay, so sorry. I know that's more than one, but like those are the top 3. You can do anything with those 3. Hanging neon signs, taping together bridesmaids' dresses if they rip. Like zip ties, do everything. Scissors. In order, zip ties, scissors, gaffer tape. Top 3. I could plan a whole wedding with all of those.
Like MacGyver over here. That's fantastic. Proudest personal moment?
Marrying my husband.
I love it.
Yeah.
Congrats. How long have you guys been married?
Married 2 years. Together this year will be 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you hire a planner?
No.
We'll get there later too. Least favorite style?
Rustic, I guess you would call it.
I love it. I love the look on your face when you say it too.
So I know this is such a hot take and all the people are going to be so angry about it, but I hate baby's breath. Like anything that's baby's breath, I don't like it. And that's okay because it's my style, and like clients who feel the same way will then gravitate towards me, and clients who love baby's breath won't, and I'm okay with that.
It's baby's breath train that has established and left the track and came off the rails, I think. Is we have been approached by, I can't tell you how many, and we have to this day never ordered
baby's breath at Tailored Twig, and we have refused the effort.
That's why I'm here.
Who wants something that smells like cat piss?
Agreed. I know. It's a filler flower.
It's
is. Like anything
from 1980s.
Anything that's filler, like you're filling in, like, no, that should not be the star of the show.
Well, there's still fillers and everything, but I mean, like Queen Anne's lace is a filler.
Beautiful.
Wax flower is a filler.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fillers, that one. Sorry, hate it. I'll die on that hill, and I'm okay with it.
Hardest lesson learned in business.
The only person, and this might go against what I'm about to say about relationships because they are important, but at the end of the day, the only person who cares about you the most is you. So you always have to put yourself first. You can empathize with someone else, but when it especially comes to business and it comes to money, like if you're not watching your own back, nobody else is. And I don't say that to be like negative.
How'd you learn that lesson? I mean, and the likely scenario is several interactions, several things that happened, and it wasn't one smack boom thing, but it was little
bits and pieces. Whether it's like somebody says that they want to hire you, and then like they pay you, and then their card gets declined, and then they disappear, and it's like, well, like what happened there? Like, why don't you care about? Like, I saved that date for you. Also, like not working before getting paid, which is like I don't do anything before, another answer to that also is there was one specific instance where I was working with photographers who were doing a workshop and they treated me so badly throughout the process and of planning where like I wasn't employed by them and then I had to break it off because I was like, you're not my boss. Like, I don't need to work for you anymore. And realizing that people who respect your relationship and together and like your time and your energy, those are the kind of people that you want to work with.
Absolutely. And I think that, when we start, or at least for me, and I think that a lot of planners are in the same boat, I started in my garage.
Yeah.
At my house, and the majority of planners I know started in their house too. We just want to make beautiful stuff, create beautiful memories. So everything is charged with just that, and you lose the kind of thought process or ability to advocate for yourself because you feel like you're just advocating for the end experience or the end memories that you're creating or what have you. So that journey takes time. Yeah. Cool. The best tip for a newly engaged bride.
Enjoy the engagement. Don't feel like, unless there's some specific reason, that you need to start going and shopping for venues or looking for a dress. Like, just enjoy that feeling of you've now taken a really big step into your relationship, or it's a really big commitment. Like, wedding planning is its own sense of feelings. Like, don't shortchange yourself on the glow of being engaged.
I love that. That's awesome. Favorite flower?
Ranunculus.
Okay, we have some here.
Yeah.
Just for you.
And peonies and dahlias too.
I don't have those. Sorry.
I love those.
3 left. Yeah. Favorite moment of a wedding?
First look with Dad, if they have the ability to do so. It's always, I'm really close with my dad, so I love a good, that's always like a tearjerker moment for me, which I love.
Welcome party or farewell brunch?
Welcome party.
Any reason why?
Everybody's excited. The things haven't happened yet. Sometimes brunch, like, they're hungover, people have to catch a flight to go back home. I think more of the excitement builds for pre than for post.
So funny because I think that there's commonality in that answer of that one that I've been hearing, and when I first put it down, I was like, this will be interesting to see if they are more riding the wave of excitement of it coming, or if the planner is like, thank God, check, it's off the list now, and it's everything materialized, everything happened.
Yeah.
The execution and like the worry of it happening all right and all of that is gone, kind of thing, you know?
I think it's also a fun experience for the clients too. If let's say they really want to have, and I'm thinking about it from a decor angle, where if they want to have like a classic white wedding, but want to do something more fun for like the welcome party or the rehearsal dinner, that's your perfect opportunity to do so.
Yeah, cool. Best send-off?
No send-off.
Very good. So I know we've discussed this already, but not in explicit detail. What do you think distinguishes you from other planners?
Yeah, definitely the transparency aspect. I don't beat around the bush. What you see is what you get. But I'm also there for my clients through the end. Like, text messages, you need to text me, that's fine. Like, the other thing is I don't take 30 clients a year. I take 10 to 12 clients a year, weddings, so that if you want to meet with me tomorrow at 2 o'clock, it's most likely a pretty good chance that I'm going to be able to meet with you because I don't have a million other brides and a million other, or couples rather, that I'm dealing with or working with, and I'm not messing up any of your details. Everything gets kept straight. I'm not trying to manage so many different personalities, events, venues, and I do that so that when you call me, I'm there to answer your question. When you text me, I can answer it immediately. So the transparency and the availability aspect, but as well as how much I lean on my vendor partners, and picking and selecting the right ones for the right clients is so important to me. And I understand letting each vendor work in their zone of genius. That's why we're hiring them. If I partner you or I pair you with a specific vendor, it's because this is what you've told me that you wanted, and this is what this is the right person. Like, I don't need to show you 14 different photographers. If you're telling me that you like light and airy, I'm gonna show you my top 2 or 3. And there's probably one out of the 2 or 3 that I know is gonna be the right fit for you based on then like personality or budget. So if you wanna see 75 different options, like, you don't need me. Go to Google. It'll give you everything you need. It's really important to me curating the right partners who can easily give you exactly what you want.
2 things that you said that I think are synonymous with who we are too. I mean, we do maybe 40 weddings a year. And which may sound like a lot to you, but for someone that does what we do, that's really not that much. There's plenty of people that are doing what we do that are 100, 200 weddings a year, and they're just pumping them out the place like a factory. The second is that that kind of what you alluded to, but you didn't explicitly say, was when you have these relationships form with a client, it's our job to really pull things out of them, really be an extractionist expert and figure out what it is that they're saying, and then group everything that they're saying and put it together with what it is that you can deliver. And for you, that is in ways of finding someone like me and finding a photographer and finding a baker and so on and so forth. For me, it's color palette, stylistic things, you know, experience in the room, all of that sort of thing. But all of it comes together at the end.
They all play together. All the members of the team all work together, not just through the process, but also obviously on the day of that. I build those relationships, so if I'm in the weeds or something is happening that's beyond my control, I can lean on any single one of those partners, as well as my team, you know, internally, but that I know that they're gonna have my back to make sure that the client isn't noticing any difference in their experience that day. So that's also important to me too.
What's the best advice you can give a newly engaged bride?
To listen to what the planner is saying to you that you're interviewing. Because if they're anything like me, or if they're me, I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. If you are telling me that you want to get married at the Addition, and you have a $100,000 budget for 200 people, that's not gonna work there.
Yeah.
Or that's the one thing I always love to be the most transparent about is budget. So like if I'm telling you something, like listen to me, listen to what I'm saying, and trust that what they're telling you is the truth, because it probably is. They have no reason not to lie to you.
And as we talked about before, so you have this, you have that, then you have this much. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
But we could do it like this. We could do it like that.
Yeah.
And you offer up other options. I mean, that's what is in the genius of what you do. Yeah. Craziest scenario during a wedding.
So pre-COVID, I was doing a wedding in San Francisco, and this is back in the day when I thought I didn't need to work with an assistant. It was just me. I was like, it's a small wedding. I don't need it. It's fine. The wedding was at we were at the Getting Ready location, and the ceremony was at San Francisco City Hall. So I got a call from the musician who had just arrived there. It was while their first look was happening, and she says San Francisco City Hall is being evacuated because there was a bomb threat.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm in a city that I don't know at all. What am I going to do? Because I need to move this ceremony if clearly they're closing down the entire space. So I remember this clear as day. So I'm getting the phone call. I see the bride coming out of the elevator, about to go do the first look. And I couldn't help but think imagine I wasn't here. She was getting this phone call, about to go do her first look, just spent 2 hours in hair and makeup, and the whole entire moment, the whole entire day would have been gone and ruined. Yeah. So I pulled the groom aside. I said, if we were to have to do ceremony somewhere else, where would we do it? And he was like, there's a park around the corner. I'm like, great. Thank goodness it wasn't 150 people, because I would have been absolutely screwed at that point. It was only 28 people. I was like, okay, we can just gather everybody up in the park and won't be a big deal. We'll move the violinists over there. Totally fine. Luckily, I had a little bit of time before the ceremony started. Thankfully, they ended up clearing City Hall. It ended up being okay. We were able to go back in. Ceremony went off without a hitch, exactly how it should have been. But one of the things that just stuck with me in a way was imagine she had gotten that call as she was getting out of the elevator to do her first look. The whole moment would have been ruined. The whole vibe of the day would have been off. And I was like, I'm so grateful that I get to do this as a career,
shield them,
to just absolutely protect them from the dumpster fires that are happening, that inevitably happen.
And that's one example, which is a pretty dramatic one.
Oh, totally dramatic.
You and I both know that these happen all the time, and
yes.
And it's not just a handful of them per.
Yeah.
You're putting them out the whole time, and I don't think that a lot of people, and they shouldn't realize how much goes into this, because they're only doing this once.
Right.
They've never done this before. They're only doing this once, and they just think it's just a party.
It's just a party. It's just a party.
Yeah.
But for a lot of families, it's not just a party. It's a really, it's a really big deal. And I feel right now sometimes there's a lot of hate, especially with social media, that you spent this much money on your wedding, or that's crazy. The national average is $30,000. That's way off, and that could be a topic for a whole other.
Yeah.
The Knot says that the average wedding cost in America is $30,000 right now, which is a whole load of other conversations that we can have on another day. But it means so much more for other people, where it's really an important.
Memories.
Absolutely.
And we're creating experiences, and those last forever.
And the photos, and not to be morbid, and video of somebody who attended your wedding and now has passed away. When else would you have a video of them? So it's something I take very, very seriously. I am it's an honor to be a part of somebody that they trust me to be a part of their wedding day and this such important time in their life. Yeah. So, yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love it. God, I feel like I knew you, but I feel like I'm getting to know you so much better, which is so cool.
I know. I love that.
I have a few kind of closing questions that I want to go over. They're softballs. Anything on the horizon that excites you?
Yes, I have a few really great weddings coming up where the clients have put their trust in me to hire them the best vendor team. They are vendors that I have been wanting to work with forever, and I finally get to check them off my bucket list. So
that's awesome.
Exciting. I'm also just really excited about Tampa.
So it's a common theme, and it's contagious.
Yep.
The minute that you kind of drive through the city, or walk on the Riverwalk, or walk through down Water Street, or go to a Lightning game, or or walk into the Edition Hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, this place is on fire.
On fire.
Yeah.
On fire. I am so grateful. My husband moved us here 6 years ago. He was like, I'm going to move for work from South Florida. We were also in like the Boca Del Rey area.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. It's been the best thing for both of us. I am just so excited about where this city is and is going.
Well, you came at the right time. I came here 14 years ago, and it was not anywhere near what it is today.
But you stuck it out.
I stuck it out, and it is. I mean, and I am what do you call it? A Tamponian?
If you must.
A Tamponian? What?
Is that what they call them?
I think so.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Let's just not. Let's not.
But I love just conceptually the idea that we can have a small impact on what Tampa is becoming and what Tampa is.
Yeah.
It's super, super, super cool to be part of a community that is like on the move and like marching to its own beat.
Oh, yeah.
And establishing its own kind of identity and vibe.
Yeah, it is. With like Taylor Swift's going to be here for 3 nights. Like, was she anywhere else for that long? I mean, like, that's awesome. The Edition Hotel, the new JW Marriott opening in Clearwater. And it's so great that we have like 3 little cities in one, like 30 minutes to Clearwater, 30 minutes to St. Pete from Tampa. You have like 3 great little spaces.
And they all have a different vibe.
They all have their own thing.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I every time I get off a plane in Tampa and I get here, I am like, I'm so glad to be home.
Yeah.
And I never used to feel that way. So it's just really great to feel that way. And it's been like the past 5 years I've really, really kind of conjured up that feeling. And yeah, it's cool.
It's only going to go. I think like only more cool things are going to come.
Yeah.
The second phase of Water Street, like all of, North Hyde Park growing. I mean, they really like care. Like they really care, which is amazing. So
yeah, it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you see the wedding industry in 5 years, and where do you see yourself in it? Hopefully us working together.
Absolutely, of course. The industry as a whole, I hope that Tampa specifically starts to get more higher quality luxury, real true luxury wedding vendors who are not only luxury in their product that they're providing, but in the level of service.
Yeah.
So, and that's for there are a couple of gems here already, so I'm not knocking anybody who's already, in this space, but like rentals, I go to Orlando or Miami to pull from. Yeah. There's definitely room for opportunity for building a really amazing luxury wedding space here in the Tampa area. So that's where I hope that, we grow to. And I think us working together, like we're already in that.
Yeah.
Like I already feel like we are part of that, which I love and I'm super grateful for. And I hope in the next 5 years that I'm still in that space. might have a kid or two in that space, but I will still be here.
Hey, that's okay. I was just having a conversation with another wedding planner who has 3 and just gave birth to her third 10 months ago.
Oh,
you know,
goodness.
I mean, and we have a wedding in a week and a half together. You know, I mean, it's and when you're doing 10 to 12 weddings a year, that's something that I think is manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like one to two, one a month, and then it's like, okay, I have my other 3 weekends to like live my life, which is so nice.
If you're passionate about it, the passion will win out, you know? Yeah, and clearly, I mean, you are. So, given your vast life experience, what advice would you give yourself at 5 years old?
Stop rushing. Like, stop wanting to get through like some of the, like, you need that like ugly tough stuff to like really appreciate being in your stride. And I think all of the, I'm so hard on myself, and also not be so hard on yourself. Like, you have to go through some of that, those like bad jobs and bad bosses, and like get a little bit tough skinned so that you can come out on the other side and then just be so excited and grateful for being able to wake up every morning and run your own business and like get up, make your own schedule, take the clients that you want to take on. And you need some of that like crazy and weird and ugly stuff to like really, really appreciate this like stride that I feel like I'm in now.
So don't beat yourself up when you encounter the crazy and ugly.
Yeah, no.
Just work through it.
The only way out is through.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Alexa Kritis with Alexa Kritis Events.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
That's it.
We love you. So happy that you took the time to spend with us today.
Thank you. Love you too.